High above the Arctic, a vast and frigid expanse stretches as far as the eye can see, where the coldest winds on Earth are born. The polar vortex, a swirling mass of icy air, is showing signs of instability, its boundaries weakening, its cold energy threatening to spill southward. This is more than just a meteorological curiosity. It's a warning for Europe this coming January, as the cold air prepares to surge across the continent. Scientists are alarmed. Advanced models now predict a cold wave so intense it could plunge Europe into its harshest winter in over a decade, disrupting daily life and challenging even the most prepared cities. This isn't just another cold snap, it's a potential atmospheric upheaval, a rare event that could transform cities like Paris, Berlin and Rome into snowbound landscapes, paralysing transportation and daily routines. Canals in Amsterdam may freeze solid, creating scenes reminiscent of historic winters, inviting both awe and concern. Even the Thames could see ice forming along its banks, scenes not witnessed in years, evoking memories of legendary freezes from centuries past. The threat is real. A dramatic shift in atmospheric patterns is brewing, one that will test our infrastructure, our energy supplies, and our resilience as communities brace for the cold. The cold won't stay locked in the Arctic. It's set to cascade south, sweeping across fields and cities, impacting millions of people from Scandinavia to the Mediterranean. Understanding the polar vortex, why it's breaking down, how it's shifting, and what it means for our weather, is crucial for everyone, from policymakers to families at home. This isn't a disaster movie. The science is real, the warnings are urgent, and the consequences could be severe if we're unprepared. Now is the time to listen to the warnings, take action, and prepare for a January that could be remembered for years. A winter that will test the strength and spirit of Europe, like few before it. The polar vortex is a swirling mass of frigid air, a vast and powerful circulation that forms high above the Arctic every winter. It's not a single storm, but rather a persistent, spinning pool of some of the coldest air on Earth. This vortex spins above the North Pole, acting as a kind of atmospheric barrier between the Arctic and the rest of the Northern Hemisphere. It's contained by a powerful jet stream, a fast-moving ribbon of air that circles the pole and keeps the cold air trapped inside. When the vortex is stable and strong, it locks Arctic air in place, allowing regions like Europe to experience milder, less severe winters. But if the vortex weakens, that protective fence breaks down, and icy Arctic air can spill much farther south than usual. Imagine it like a dam holding back a reservoir of cold. When the dam cracks, the frigid air floods into Europe, Asia, and North America, bringing sudden and extreme cold snaps. This system is a normal part of our climate, but its stability is crucial for predictable weather patterns across the globe. A strong, well-formed vortex means the cold stays put in the Arctic. A weak or disrupted vortex, however, can unleash dramatic, unpredictable cold snaps that catch cities off guard. Meteorologists are increasingly concerned this year, as early signs suggest the vortex could weaken, raising the risk of a breach and severe winter weather. Understanding how the polar vortex works helps us see why its collapse is so alarming and why it can have such widespread consequences. It's not a sudden storm, but a slow-motion event that can reshape winter across continents, with impacts that last for weeks or even months. The polar vortex's Achilles heel is a dramatic phenomenon known as sudden stratospheric warming, or SSW. This rare event can completely transform winter weather patterns across the Northern Hemisphere, making it a subject of intense scientific study and public interest. Powerful weather systems in the lower atmosphere, such as large storms and persistent high-pressure areas, send energy upward in the form of atmospheric waves. These waves travel all the way up to the stratosphere, where they can disrupt the normally stable polar vortex. When these waves break, they can cause the stratosphere over the pole to warm by as much as 50 degrees Celsius in just a few days. This rapid warming destabilizes the vortex, making it much weaker and more chaotic than usual. As a result, the jet stream fence that usually contains the cold air begins to wobble dramatically. Sometimes, the vortex even splits into two or more pieces, sending blobs of frigid Arctic air southward into lower latitudes. These cold air masses, now untethered from the pole, drift into Europe and sometimes even reach as far as Asia or North America, bringing severe cold and snow to regions that may not be prepared for such extremes. The effects of SSW aren't immediate. There's usually a 1 to 2 week lag before the cold air finally reaches the ground, giving a brief but crucial window for people to get ready. This delay is our opportunity to prepare, stocking up on supplies, reinforcing homes, and issuing public warnings to help communities brace for the coming chill. As the jet stream becomes increasingly wavy, it opens the door for Arctic air to surge far south, sometimes leading to record-breaking cold snaps and heavy snowfall. SSW is a rare occurrence, but when it does happen, it can trigger some of the most extreme and memorable winter weather events in recent history, disrupting daily life and challenging infrastructure. This is the scenario meteorologists are closely watching and fearing for January 2026 as they analyse data and prepare for the possibility of another major SSW event. The winter of 2018 showed us what happens when the polar vortex collapses. A sudden stratospheric warming split the vortex, sending Siberian air across Europe, the infamous beast from the east. Cities like Rome saw rare snow, and the UK was paralysed by blizzards and deep drifts. The economic and social costs were huge, exposing the fragility of our infrastructure and supply chains. In 2021, another vortex disruption brought record snow to Madrid, proving these events can strike anywhere. These aren't just stories, they're warnings. A vortex collapse doesn't guarantee cold everywhere, but it raises the risk of severe cold waves. By studying past events, forecasters can better predict which regions are most at risk. History is our guide for what to expect and how to prepare, too. As of December 9, 2025, weather models are converging on a clear signal. A sudden stratospheric warming is likely by early January. Major forecast systems agree. The polar vortex will weaken, possibly split, unleashing Arctic air. The cold is expected to hit Europe from January 10th to 25, with temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average. Even major cities like London and Paris could see daytime highs below freezing and bitterly cold nights. As Arctic air moves over warmer seas, heavy snow and blizzards are likely for coastal regions. Forecasts aren't certainties, but the signal is unusually strong and consistent. Weather agencies are already urging early preparations. The message is clear: a severe winter spell is coming. Now is the time to get ready. With a major cold event looming, home preparation is essential. Seal drafts around windows and doors. Thick curtains help trap heat. Service your heating system and insulate exposed pipes to prevent freezing and bursts. Know where your main water shutoff is in case of emergencies. Prepare an emergency kit: blankets, torches, batteries, a wind-up radio, and at least 3 days' food and water. Stock up on non-perishable foods and bottled water. If you have a fireplace or wood stove, ensure it's safe and stockpile fuel. Never use outdoor heaters or grills indoors. Carbon monoxide is deadly. Use portable heaters with safety features and keep them away from flammable materials. A little preparation now can make all the difference in staying safe and warm. Personal safety starts with proper clothing. Layer up with thermal, fleece, and waterproof outerwear. Protect extremities with hats, gloves, scarves, and insulated boots. Avoid non-essential travel during snow and ice. If you must drive, pack an emergency kit with blankets, food, water, and a charged phone. Learn the signs of hypothermia and frostbite: shivering, confusion, numbness. The elderly, children, and those with health conditions are most at risk. Community spirit matters. Check on vulnerable neighbours and ensure they have essentials. Stock up on medications and first aid supplies for at least a week. Don't forget pet food and supplies. Being prepared reduces the need to venture out in dangerous conditions. Together, we can weather the storm more safely. Severe cold will strain power grids. Outages are possible, so have non-electric plans ready. Snow and ice can halt travel and disrupt supply chains. Stock up gradually on essentials to avoid panic buying. Digital infrastructure may be stressed. Keep phones charged and have books or games for entertainment. Stay connected. Mobile phones are vital for updates and emergencies. Above all, community matters most. Help neighbours clear paths, share supplies, and check in on each other. Create a neighbourhood contact list for support. The stories we'll remember are of kindness and resilience, not just the cold. Solidarity will get us through the harshest winter. The coming polar vortex collapse is daunting, but we've faced nature's challenges before. Our strength lies in preparation, adaptation, and community. Use the warning window to insulate homes, prepare kits, and check on neighbours. Stay informed through reliable sources as the situation evolves. Every storm passes. The sun will return and life will resume. Let's meet this challenge with calm resolve and shared responsibility. By looking out for each other, we'll not only survive the cold, but emerge stronger and more connected. Stay safe, stay warm, and let's weather this storm together.